So my dude's Valkyrja, and today they have, well, they've shown off Ayato's new weapon, and I'm going to talk about it. I want to talk about why it might be a little bit of a skip. That's going to surprise some people, because, like, don't you want it for Ayato? Ayato actually has really good options other than this, but this is going to be a very strong weapon for him. Of course, it is his weapon. Hiran Gippanku Futsu. Crit rate 33.1, base attack 608, and now get ready for a mouthful, because this is a paragraph. Hone Flow, obtain 12% all elemental damage bonus when other nearby party members use elemental skills. Basically, if I'm using Raiden, I use her E, or I swap to Yamiko, I use her E, I use their skill. Gets 1 stack, you get up to 2 stacks of the Wave Spike. Wave Spike can be triggered once every 0.3 seconds. You can only swap on, like, I think it's like a second timer anyways between swapping. So the little internal cooldown 0.3 isn't a deal. You don't got to worry about it. When a character equipping this weapon uses elemental skill, all stacks of Wave Spike will be consumed to gain Ripping Upheaval. Each stack of Wave Spike consumed will increase normal attack damage by 20% for 8 seconds. Now, I want to talk about this first on Ayato. Obviously, super cracked on Ayato. He's going to get normal attack damage increase, and this kind of confirms that his skill works with normal attack damage increases. So, it's a 20% normal attack damage increase. I don't think it is the end of the world. Well, actually, it's 40%. Each stack goes up to its 40%. It'll double to 80% at R5. Very, very, very strong. 40% normal attack damage increase is incredibly powerful. I'm going to assume you have both stacks. So 40% normal attack damage increase, incredibly powerful. Low base attack at 608, but not a big deal because he doesn't really have the best of scalings, and he scales some off of HP. So a lot of you guys are going to be summoning for this, and you're going to be curious, can this really be used on any other character? The only other character I can see this being used on 2 other characters. Kuching, I can see this being good for Kuching, like a decent weapon for her, but she already has Mist Splitter, which in my opinion is a little bit better than this. And then C6 Kazuha, specifically C6 Kazuha, because C6 Kazuha converts all normals at C6 into Anemo. And so increasing his normal attack damage will increase his damage at C6. All in all, I don't think it'll be that insane for C6 Kazuha because he already has a really, really good weapon. And the fact that he scales super hard off of EM regardless, I don't think he needs a base crit rate and crit, or the base attack and crit rate. He can if you really wanted to, but I don't think it's like enough to where you would want it. But as far as Ayato goes, this is definitely his best in slot weapon. Just by reading it, I can tell it's going to synergize super well with him. That being said, is it enough of an advantage over this next one that I'm going to show you to really warrant you wanting to summon for it? And now here's the reason I say his weapon is probably a skip. Even though his weapon is very good, his next best in slot, in my opinion, is going to be the Primordial Jade Cutter. With 542 base attack, you're only 66 base attack behind, but you're 44% crit rate. That's your whole damn build right there. 44% crit rate plus the 5% base, you're at 49.1% crit rate to start. That is insane. That is your whole build. That's 49.1%. That's 50% crit rate off a single weapon, not counting any substats you get, not counting any artifacts you run. Just 49% crit rate right away. That's insane. To me, this is by far just going to do it. HP is increased by 20%. Additionally, provides an attack bonus based on 1.2% of the wielder's max HP. This is going to make up for the base attack differential. This adds up to be a decent amount. The 1.2% actually is pretty good, especially whenever he's somebody that scales off HP. So he probably will have some more HP substats because he does scale off HP on his skill. As far as his skill damage, it has some split scaling-ish, kind of. Part of it scales off attack, another part of it scales off HP. And because he's going to have a little bit of HP scaling, you'll probably get more bonus attack out of it for Primordial Jade Cutter. This is why I say his banner is probably going to be a skip. I don't think you're going to go on his weapon banner for that weapon. Instead, I think you're going to want to go for the Primordial Jade Cutter. If you don't already have it, I really hope you already have this weapon because I always tell people to summon for it whenever it comes around because it's a really, really strong weapon. It is just a good weapon to have in general. I think if you're comparing perfect builds, it kind of starts losing out because then you don't have, like, on a perfect build, this weapon doesn't match the scaling, but odds are you don't have the perfect artifacts for Ayato. 1, because the set most people are going to farm isn't out yet. And 2, well, I hope most people are running like 2-piece Glad, 2-piece Blizzard Destroyer, not Blizzard Destroyer, 2-piece Hearted Deaths is what I meant to say. 2-piece Glad, 2-piece Hearted Deaths or something like that. I hope they're running something like that, not that new set. I already made a whole new video. I made a video on that set a couple days ago. Go check that out if you haven't. But, most people aren't going to have perfect artifacts for him whenever he first comes out, so this is still going to be in high contention. And then the other weapon I want to consider, because I know a lot of people that watch me are also free to play, I want to bring this up to you guys as well. The Inazuma craftable sword, I can't say the name, so I'm not going to try to. I am very bad at it, so I'm not even going to try to say the name. But this sword is really, really good. At the casting element to scale, gain 1 succession seed. The effect can be triggered once every 5 seconds. The succession seed lasts up for 30 seconds. Up to 3 succession seeds may exist simultaneously. After using element of burst, all succession seeds are consumed. After 2 seconds, the character regenerates 6 energy for each seed consumed. Here you can see the weapon scales with attack. It gets up to 55% with a 454 base. Very good base attack. Pretty damn good substat. 55% is nothing to scoff at. And we can go ahead and consider it R5. Basically at R5, the character regenerates 12 energy for each seed consumed. You're basically only going to have 2 seeds at a time because he has a 12-second cooldown. So whenever you pop his burst, you'll be able to regenerate 24 energy that way. After 2 seconds, you'll be able to generate 24 energy, so that's going to be pretty damn good. You could also maybe time it just right to where you're able to get more stacks off of it, to where you can do 1, 2, 3, but keep in mind, his skill has a 12-second cooldown, so you're going to only be able to really get 2 seeds going. Either way, this is a very strong weapon. This is a really good weapon that I think a lot of people overlook. I think the Inazuma Craftable is a very, very fantastic weapon that not a lot of people really pay attention to, and I think it's really, really good to talk about. Anyways, that's why I think you should skip Ayato's weapon. I think it's not just the weapon banner's bad. I don't think anybody needs me to tell them the weapon banner's bad, but it's because he has better options, both free-to-play and summonable. I think Primordial Jade Cutter is so good that I don't really think you have a need to pull his weapon, but still, I do believe his weapon coming out with him is going to be his best in slot, just not exactly by a lot. I think it's going to be good enough to where if you have it and you want it the best Ayato possible, you want to go for it, but do you have better options on the side? Well, not better options. You have good options on the side that you can also run. Anyways, that's my video. Let me know what you guys think about my assumptions, about my guesses. Let me know what you guys think about his weapon altogether. Thank you guys for watching as always. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.